Hello, Huskies back again with more Tampa Bay Lightning NHL 19 franchise mode commentary. Last video we kind of went over what we were planning on doing here with the team. There were a couple areas of the teams that I wanted to address. One being on the screen now is I want to make a splash. I want a better second line scorer. I did the player search. I looked for guys that were second line forwards with shooting above 86, and nobody really jumped out at me. So what I did was I upped it to first line forwards and put the shot at 90, and Kovalchuk popped up. Kovalchuk doesn't have a whole lot of trade value. He's 35, I know, but his puck skills, his senses, his shot, they're just so good. He plays no defense whatsoever, but his offensive categories are just so good. So I'm going to try to get him for Tyler Johnson in a second. This is a second next year. This isn't even this year. So let's see if this goes through. Tyler Johnson's a guy that I don't mind. I just don't feel like he's worth. And there you go. So we just brought in Ilya Kovalchuk to kind of bolster our top 6 scoring. And I feel like he's vastly underrated. Let's go ahead and best lines this, actually. I don't want Kovalchuk on the first line. I want Kovalchuk playing with Braden Point. And I actually want Yanni Gourde on the third line. Yeah, that's fine. Yanni Gourde, Killorn, Cirelli. So our top 6 now is Palat, Stamkos, Kucherov, Kovalchuk, Point, Miller. Like that's sick. That is sick. I would like to at some point add in a better backup goalie as well. Because personally I don't think Deming is a good enough backup goalie, but that's just me. But for now, actually let's go ahead and let's do a quick search because I love that the search feature's back, man. I absolutely love it. So let's do goalie, and let's do backup, and I want to set the overall minimum to 81, and see what it gives us. So Malcolm Subban's not a horrible option. Cam Ward as well. Cam Ward got paid way too much by the Hawks though. It's only a 1-year deal though. I have 2.3 million in cap space. I love that it gives me my cap space on the bottom. Malcolm Subban. Could I even pull off Malcolm Subban? It's either him or no. Chad Johnson. No. Korpisalo. Wow, he really fell off hard, man. He's only a potential fringe starter. You know what? I'm gonna go for Korpisalo. Man, considering the past 2 years, how good he's been, I'm surprised that he's this low. Deming, and is there anybody you guys want? Not really. You want NHL players only? That's no fun. I don't want to give you NHL players. Alright. How about a third? A third and Deming for Corbett. That's not going to go through. Yeah. No, I don't think I have enough assets currently to make a trade for a guy. So I think I'm going to wait, and we'll see how Deming does, and maybe we'll just snag it back up in free agency. But I'm interested to see how the team does with Kovalchuk on the roster. He already has 3 goals in 3 games before coming here, so... And if we really start to struggle, I can throw him up there with Stamkos and Kucherov and really let the offensive firepower go to work. 6-2 in the first game. Oh, 2-1. This, I really feel like, oh, we got shut out. That's disappointing. I don't care about the player morale meetings. Let's go view the draft class. So... couple of guys, Volchenko, Korolev. Ooh, similar to Patrick Kane. I've seen a lot of people have been posting their like finds on the NHL subreddit, and it was cool to see that somebody could actually be compared to Wayne Gretzky. Actually, I think I have to go send one of my scouts out. Let's see. Pretty sure we're 4-2. I'm not. I didn't really think we'd lose games with Kovalchuk, to be honest. I figured we would be good enough to kind of stomp our way through everything. Let me make sure I have everybody. Okay, so everybody's still scouting somewhere. That's fine. We'll sim a bit and let the scouts do work, and then we'll go look at the draft class and see what's worth picking up here. UC Jokinen for a 5th and a 7th? I don't think Jokinen's that good, right? He's an AHL top 6. He's probably like a 70. Yeah, no, I'll pass. I'm good. Thanks, Detroit, but I'll pass. Oh, my pro scouts all need to be reassigned. Okay. It would be nice if there was a pop-up for that. I'm surprised there's not. Sign scout. Okay, so do I have to do anything here? I don't really know what that means, in all honesty. Because nobody seems to be... I think it just auto-sets them, which is fine. Because I have everyone where they are, where I want them to be. So if I don't have to set them, that's fine. Stop hitting buttons. Alright, Kovalchuk's already got 5 goals. But the Devils are 7-1. Jeez. I didn't think the Devils were that good. I guess Taylor Hall's just that good. Oh, big game though. Yeah, we got him 3-1. I kind of wish that the font, the font color on the scores and the Scotty Upshall a 4th and a 5th for a 3rd and a 5th. No, I'll pass. I wish the font color in this screen of the final scores was a little brighter. But aside from that, I really like the way the menu looks, if I'm honest. But I'm a real big fan of like the dark backgrounds, like everything that has a night mode I turn on. I just don't like all the white. And I say that as a goalie with all white goalie pads, but I don't have to look at my pads, so that'd be why. Cody McLeod for a 6th and a 7. No, thank you. Because I think this is like, yeah, no, I'll pass. That's who I thought it was. I don't need a bottom 6 kind of grind focus guy. 15-7-1, back-to-back losses to Florida and Chicago. All right, back on the horse though. How do we lose to Buffalo? Come on, we can't lose to Buffalo. So I'm assuming that we're gonna be a playoff team, and on top of that, we'll probably have at least one or two series wins. So our first round pick will be pretty late. So when I go and look at the draft class, I'm gonna want to try to find guys that aren't necessarily at the top 5. Like, I can't do much about getting into the top 5 because again, this is a win now thing. All right, so that's 5 straight losses. That's not great. All right, thanks Tilly. Way to get us back on the horse. Appreciate it. Montreal. Oh, Montreal beat us. 25-14-1. I'm interested to see how their sim engine works because there's not been a whole lot of realism in the sim engine the past few years. Alright, so Kovalchuk's got 42 points in 42 games. That's kind of what I was expecting. But we also have the best first line in hockey, and they're not... I mean, Stamkos is 39, Kucherov is 36, and Palat is 29. So that first line is struggling a little bit. But at the same time, plus 18, plus 17, plus 11. Hedman's a plus 24. Yanni Gord's a minus 8. So that third line is struggling big time. Yeah, Sorelli, Killorn. They're probably keeping the puck out of the net. They're just not putting the puck in the net. But our fourth line is doing fine. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I think everything's fine. How is Vasilevsky doing? 21 and 12. 920 save percentage, 234 goals against. Domingue's actually doing really well, so I'm not going to hold on to him. All right, I'm liking the Kovalchuk edition. I think we're looking good there. How does He's in LA, right? Yeah, Tyler Johnson has 21 points as a -3. I'm okay with that trade. I'm very okay with that trade. Alright, so standings. Oh, we're first in the Atlantic? Really? We're tied with Montreal. And Buffalo's right behind us. And Detroit's 5th. What? This makes no sense. Makes no sense. And then down here, Florida, Ottawa. I mean, Ottawa makes sense. But they have Carlson still, so. Ooh, I like the stats at the top now. The power play and the penalty killer at the very top. Nice. Our power play could be a little better, but nothing too upset about. Alright, so let's go and check out our scouts here. View draft class. Alright, so like I said, we've got Mikael Goulet. So he's a franchise potential? Damn. Patrick Kane. Victor Hedman, Patrick Kane, Mike Gardner. Wow, Mike Gardner, really? James JVR, Joe Thornton, JVR, none. TJ Oshie, none. Marion Gaborik. I kind of like the whole personality thing. Torrey Krug. Sergei Gonchar. I was not expecting to see Mike Gardner there. That's for sure. Alright, so. Ooh, a bust. That sucks. Have we found any gems? We found 3 busts and no gems so far. Let's see if we can find some. Let's see if we can find some gems here before our team finds them. So we're going to be pretty late in the draft. This kid, his scout rank's not high, but he's got medium elite. Let's add him to the watch list. Add Dryden to the watch list. Pretty much just have to let guys add this goalie as well. Just trying to find guys that are worthwhile. Ooh, this guy falling hard. Being a top 8 or a top 10 guy, and he's only a top 6. So if I go to my draft board, what does all that do for me? Really doesn't do anything. Does it give me their... Oh yeah, right, I can look at their stats, can't I? 30 games, 18 points, a -4. Two-way forward. Joe Thornton, none. Okay. There was one post where somebody's goalie played 65 games, had the best stats ever. He had like a 960 save percentage and a 0.89 goals against average, but he only won 4 out of 65 games. It made no sense, but it was hilarious to see. Alright, I don't really think that I need to make any moves. I think the team is good, but we'll go ahead and I'll sim to the trade deadline. And then maybe I'll call it a video. And then next time, oops, no, that's too far. And then next video I'll look in to see how Alex Killorn, a 3rd and a 4th. For a second, who's this Wilson kid? Scott Wilson, bottom 6. I like Killorn, although Killorn makes 4.4. So he might be a cap casualty here early on. I'd like to hit 40 wins before I stop the sim, if I'm honest. 40 wins at the trade deadline would be ideal. Alright, there's 4 straight. That's nice. That's nice. Oops. It's like, why is my music all of a sudden getting low? Leaning on the volume control button. Alright, bye week. 32.50. So, again, there's a comment on the last video, but Erik Karlsson for a handful of picks and some shitty prospects? Like, what? How does San Jose pull that off? Twice! They fleeced Ottawa twice. Oh my goodness. A first round pick and Ryan Callahan for Justin Williams, a third, a fourth, and Martinuk. A first round pick? Justin Williams is elite. How is he? Why is he elite? He's an 80 overall. Third or fourth? No, I'll pass on that, but thanks. You're just giving me one veteran with cap problems for another one. Drew Stafford? No, thank you. I'm liking these trades, though. Although, to be fair, I liked the trades last year, too, in the very first GM mode I did, and then the trades kind of fizzled out after that. No. I probably should have turned picks off in terms of my wants, since I really want players. Gabriel Bork for Killorn, a fifth and a fifth. They're giving me a second next year. Gabriel Bork any good? 70, no. If he was an 80, I would have considered that just because of the second round pick. That second round pick I could turn and flip if I wanted to. Come on, 40 wins by the trade deadline. Why can't we beat Montreal, man? Jonathan Drouin, just too strong. He was the guy I thought about going after, but it's like Montreal or Tampa Bay traded Drouin away. I really don't want to bring Drouin back. A first round pick for Kevin Hayes and a third. $82 overall. He's really not worth it. 5.1 for one more year. What are his stats? 31 or 18 points in 60 games. He's a -6. No, I don't think he's worth my first. Sim up to the draft. Alright, let's go look at our stats real quick, and I'll figure out if I want to make any moves. I don't think I want to make any moves. Stamkos has 57 points. Could be a little better. He's not scoring nearly as much, which is weird. I wonder if he's more of the playmaker now and Kucherov's the goal scorer. Kucherov is 29, so yeah, that would make sense. So I guess they turned Stamkos into more of a playmaker. Although his shot's still ridiculous. Palat 46 points. Kovalchuk has 54 points. Braden Point has 42. Yanni Gord's still struggling. JT Miller doesn't have a whole lot of points, but again, he's on that line purely for defensive purposes. That third line's not doing as bad. Sorelli and Killorn are -3s. Everybody else is doing alright. Yeah, I don't think I need to make any moves, man. I think we're set. I wouldn't know, like, what else to improve. I think I answered our second line scoring issue. I mean, we've got 80 points. We're one ahead of the Maple Leafs. 5 ahead of the Canadiens somehow. Buffalo's still in a playoff spot with 71 points. Boston just awful. Where are we at in terms of... Oops. Where are we at in terms of the East? We're second behind the Penguins. Alright, that makes sense. What about the West? How does the West look? LA, St. Louis, Winnipeg, San Jose, Edmonton, Chicago. Alright, I mean, that's not awful. Arizona, Dallas. Arizona probably shouldn't be up there. And I mean, I don't really think Vegas is a President's Trophy winning team. But that's just me. Colorado's better than that. Minnesota's better than that. Nashville should be up there. There's some... Sim engine still feels a little weird. But maybe it's injuries, maybe it's not. I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and call the video here. We'll finish off the regular season next video, and we'll dive a little more into our draft board maybe. But any suggestions for maybe the team? What you think I need to improve? What should I look for in the draft? Everything and anything in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow. We'll see if I have time to record.